Love wants you, we can bring it on the floor. Never danced like this before. We don't talk about it.
Hey guys, what's cracking? We are back today with another episode of the CSL Team Builders. I am Krakenation, coach of the Boston Bisharps, as you can see by our awesome cover art right now. And so we are gonna hop right into our Team Builder. Quick recap, actually. We are currently 5-1. We came off a awesome, really intense battle against the Macargo Tel Aviv, coached by Al Horez last week, clutching a difficult, hard-fought victory. And this week we are taking on Dan, entertainment of the Syracuse Sylveons, who is the finalist of Season 3. Is a Season 3 finalist and is a team that is no joke right now. They are 4-2, I believe, and they are in a heated competition for the wild card spot in the bottom conference. So, without further ado, we're gonna hop right into our team builder. Oh, that is not the team. So this is the team we're looking at. This team honestly took a lot of working and reworking because I wasn't happy with it, and I really didn't want to have a repeat of the experience with the Zion Zards, where I feel like this is a team that has a little bit of team matchup against me, honestly, just with the amount of. And whereas in the Zion Zards, it happened to be a lot more through their typings, this one is a lot more through their ability to speed control the battle. Unfortunately, that's something that's going to really scare me. So, sorry, eating a cough drop because I have a sore throat a bit. So that's something I was really trying to be wary of. And one that came to mind, particularly the faster Pokemon, being Infernape, being Noivern, being Weavile, or Sneasel, I should say, and being Greninja. Also, Celebi is not slow. Scarf Excadrill is pretty fast. So yeah, there's a lot of potentially very fast Pokemon there. So, without further ado, let's hop right into it. We got Blue the Manaphy coming back. Tail Glow Scald, Ice Beam, Energy Well. This is actually the very first time this season I am running a standard 3 attacks Manaphy. I almost considered running Choice Banded Manaphy for this battle, as it does put in a lot of work, but I ultimately decided that this set is going to be the most valuable set. Manaphy is honestly going to serve more of a cleaner role as it does in a lot of my battles these days. Emergency, it's like the emergency wall break kind of that comes in if I ever need it. This achieves super effective on literally, I think, almost if not the entire team. Manaphy. And it also takes hits where I need it to take hits. It can take a close combat, a Life Orb close combat, and OHKO back with Skull after a boost up. It can hit Excadrill very hard. It can hit everything very hard. I am expecting some berries, so we'll see how that goes. But I think Dan is going to struggle to find things that can take hits from Manaphy. I think I literally cannot think of a single Pokemon on his team that takes a single attack from this squad. From this squad set, sorry, right now. Noivern, we hit. So let's go through his picks. Actually, we hit Mega Blastoise. We hit Celebi. We hit Infernape. What was Excadrill? We hit Greninja. We hit Gorgeast. As you can see, this thing honestly just has fantastic coverage. We hit Lantern. We hit Noivern. We hit Actually, we don't hit Sneasel super effectively, but Sneasel cannot take a +3 Scald anyways. A normal unboosted Scald does like 60%, which is already crazy. So I can pretty much 1v1 Sneasel, especially if I get a burn. But that was what I was really going for. Just like honestly, fantastic coverage, ability to just bust down a lot of the Pokemon on this team. It's a very hyper offensive type of team, honestly, with this much speed control is what I'm expecting. So when looking at Pokemon that couldn't fight the hyper-offensive playstyle, I started looking for high speed, high immediate power, and that led me to Life Orb, Aerodactyl, Baby Petrie. Mega Aerodactyl is actually Dan's Dan's Mega pick last season. So it's cool to be bringing this against him with Defog, Stone Edge, Earthquake, Hone Claws. Defog gives me an option to clear hazards if I want, although he's only got Stealth Rocks and Poison Spikes, which Mary Jane is kind of here for already, to clear the spikes off the field. By switching in, but this set, honestly, just with Edgequake combo, I can Hone Claws up on some things, not on a lot of things, but in a pinch I can, and it helps improve Stone Edge's accuracy, along with Earthquake achieves OHKOs on a lot of things. If we plug in Aerodactyl here, and we look at like Excadrill, OU Standard Sweeper. Earthquake achieves that OHKO, which is really nice. Plus, I actually have a bit of defense investment. The EVs on Aerodactyl are to outspeed, I believe it is a Noivern, which is the fastest unboosted Pokemon on his team. Obviously, if he's running, I'm not going to run a Scarf Aerodactyl. That would have been excessive. At least I don't think I would. Maybe in some universe I would. But it does outspeed everything that is not wearing a Scarf. It also achieves, I think, a KO on Infernape, which is great too. So this thing's honestly such a good check to those kind of things. And Stone Edge just achieves really great neutral coverage on its entire team. It even has a chance to knock out Greninja, especially after Stealth Rock. It's a guaranteed KO on Greninja, who I also outspeed. I am honestly expecting at least one Pokemon on this team to be Scarfed. One of the fast Pokemon, as he does probably want a way to stop Salic Berry Manaphy, which is a Pokemon that I have brought in almost every single battle, and I've put in a lot of work in a lot of games. So I feel like people are going to kind of start over-prepping for that, and so I'm going to try to take advantage of that and create a team that can beat Scarf users. But yeah, it just honestly achieves great coverage on the entire team. Hone Claws boosts that damage up, and if I want to try to go for a sweep, Hone Claws allows me to guarantee a 2-hit KO on even bulky Blastoise, and honestly, Stone Edge already, I think, does a hell of a lot to Blastoise. Let's say he decides to run speed investment, because honestly with Blastoise's speed stat, it is a place sometimes, if Stone Edge guarantees a 2-hit KO on that kind of Blastoise variant, so it cannot switch in. If he is running HP, it's still a risky switch. Because you can see it's a 96.6% chance to OHKO. So it's a very small chance to 2-KO after rocks, but very good after 2-KO before rocks, but after rocks. And then also if I get a Hone Claw boost up, obviously ain't nothing switching in, super easy. Even Celebi is 2-hit KO, which is another Pokemon that I was looking at as far as walling things. So Aerodactyl is a cool set. It outspeeds, again, everything on this team. It's kind of what I picked up Aerodactyl for, just to kind of dominate the speed game if battle came to that. Moving on, we've got Scarf Chomp with 252 attack EVs and 102 defense EVs. 102 speed EVs. 252. Oh my god, what am I saying? I really wanted to invest into bulk, but ultimately I decided not to. This Garchomp is a really nice emergency stop to Excadrill, although I am kind of considering changing my mind, because now I have Mega Love Disc, so I might actually uninvest out of this and into HP, because honestly I have Mega Love Disc that takes on Scarf Excadrill very easily, so we're going to have to maybe calc that later in the video. But this set honestly just achieves so much neutral coverage on this team. Cleans up very well, wall breaks very well. Adamant Scarf is nothing to be messing around with, and Adamant Scarf also just outspeeds so many things in this team, and then proceeds to out-KO it. So if we look at Garchomp, Shark Bait, Poison Jab, honestly none of our attacks do anything to Celebi for some reason. Poison Jab still is the coverage move for Celebi. Still does nothing. I almost wanted to run Fury Cutter, but Fury Cutter was like not working for some reason. I don't know why. I might have to look into Fury Cutter a bit more. But what was I going to plug in here? Oh, as you can see, even Earthquake hits so much for super effective, and even the things that it doesn't, Earthquake still has a chance to knock out. Outrage guaranteed knocks out. So this thing could become a very effective cleaner. I don't think he has any Fairy types to switch into an Outrage. And even honestly, Excadrill being his Steel type to switch into an Outrage, cannot switch into an Outrage. As you can see, this does a hell of a lot of damage, which is pretty awesome, honestly. And again, I am considering switching this over to invest more into bulk, however necessary, because I do want to be able to outspeed, take hits and switch this thing in with its rough skin if the situation demands it. Because my team is not super defensive this time around. Even a lot of my defensive Pokemon can't really take hits except for Alomola. So, like, I'm gonna pinch there. But again, so this set is going to be an awesome way to wall break or clean. It kind of doubles up. Outrage and Earthquake are really great wall breaking tools and cleaning tools, honestly. Just this entire set. I don't see myself clicking Poison Jab that often just because Infernape, it gives Excadrill a free switch in, but we'll see. We got Black Sludge, Effect Spore, Vileplume. Vileplume is Bay. This is a trade pick that came in last week and has been super clutch. Also achieves awesome coverage against Dan's team. Giga Drain, Synthesis, Sludge Bomb, Hidden Power Fighting. Hidden Power Fighting is for right now for Sneasel and Excadrill if they want to try to switch in. And if I'm behind a Reflect, I can take a single. If I'm behind a Reflect, I can take a single. I can take an Icicle Crash from from Sneasel and proceed to OHKO with Hidden Power Fighting. It also does more damage than any of my other moves to Excadrill, who otherwise actually doesn't KO me with anything, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, these are all things worth considering, but honestly, it's just here to be another solid, bulky, offensive Mon. It does achieve such great coverage. It hits things like Blastoise, things like Greninja. I don't think Greninja's Ice Beam even knocks us out, although, to be honest, I'm not sure. If we plug in 252 item Life Orb, Ice Beam doesn't even knock us out, and we do a ton of damage with Giga Drain. So this thing honestly just achieves such great coverage. It has very limited switch-ins on this team, as even if is the only thing that switches into Sludge Bomb is on his team is really pretty much Drapion or Drapion and Excadrill, and then Hidden Power Fighting hits, of course, Excadrill. But I actually kind of want to try plugging in Hidden Power Ground as well. Hidden Power Ground to hit Excadrill just as hard, which could be cool, and it would also give us a tool to hit Drapion in a pinch. Yeah, it actually does a hell of a lot. Okay, yeah, we're going to make this Hidden Power Ground. What am I kidding? We're going to make this Hidden Power Ground, and we're going to be able to bop. That actually is pretty cool, because it gives us a super effective move against Excadrill, against Drapion, and maybe even against Infernape, although Sludge Bomb does more, so what am I saying? I don't know. Hidden Power Ground should be better, just now that lets us hit Drapion, actually, which is kind of cool. Drapion, I don't think is particularly is going to be faster than us in any case, so I don't think it's worth EVing to, yeah, there's no way in hell. I don't think it's worth EVing to try to take hits from that thing. Moving on, we've got the Vision. This is Uxie, not running. I'm running Reflect, but I'm not running the standard light screen set that I've brought a few times before. This is honestly here just to be a good switch in to Infernape, because otherwise I am hard pressed to find switch ins to Infernape, especially because the biggest problem is Alomola could hard wall Physical Infernape. Physical Infernape cannot touch Alomola, but if he wants to run Life Orb special attacking Infernape with Grass Knot, all of a sudden Alomola is scared. If that thing is Nasty Plot, Alomola is even more scared. I was considering running a more offensive check to Infernape in the form of Reuniclus, but unfortunately Reuniclus actually just can't take Flare Blitzes at all, and this thing can take Flare Blitzes from special attacking variants. And then hopefully the goal is that between my defensive core, we can handle Infernape somehow. Because that thing is a threat, that thing is versatile, and we're going to hopefully be able to wall it. Stealth Rock, obviously, I need a Stealth Rocker somewhere on this team, just because that's like so helpful. And as you saw earlier, it helps us achieve a lot of KOs. Psychic hits Infernape back for a 2-hit KO. Knockoff just being general utility. I don't really need damage on Knockoff, which is why I have the attack dropping nature. I really wanted to maximize my bulk, so I didn't want to be investing into a minus defense nature. And I wanted to secure that little bit of damage that I was going to get with Psychic on anything, including Infernape. So, Knockoff is honestly, it lets us hit Sneasel behind a little screen, and we can knock off its Life Orb or its Sash, I don't know. And then Reflect, again, is to just generally help bolster the team, give things like Manaphy a chance to set up, or even Aerodactyl in a pinch. Along with just generally letting us cushion some attacks, hopefully, on things that have recovery, such as Alomola or Vileplume. Screens are just generally such a great way to support a team, and Uxie is a great screens user, so hoping for the best out of that. Finally, this spot was initially Zebstrika, but ultimately I realized if I had Zebstrika, I had no switch-ins to... Zebstrika could one-on-one probably handle Sneasel, but with Zebstrika on this team, every time Sneasel came in, basically something was going to die. Ice Shard was just hitting everything for so much damage. Vileplume can't switch in. Garchomp can't switch in. Ice Shard already does so much. Manaphy can barely switch in. I don't think Manaphy gets its entire chance of sleep taken away when it switches in, because not only does it take that much damage, it loses its leftovers. And even from there, it just honestly was bopping everything. Uxie obviously cannot take that. Well, that's not even defensive invested. Uxie cannot take it whatsoever. If I can predict it and get up behind a Reflect, it can, which is pretty nice actually. So that might be something, that's been something I've been able to do in the past and hopefully going to be able to do again. But ultimately, yeah, Zebstrika couldn't stay, and I needed something to wall that Sneasel effectively, because it does put in so much work. And honestly, what I realized is, like, while this Uxie beats special attacking Infernape pretty effectively, as you can see, if we go Infernape, Nasty Plot, this Uxie can really take on Fire Blasts pretty well. It can switch into, if it wants Nasty Plot up, essentially at 1v1s, it can switch in and at least once check, it can counter, I should say, the Infernape at least one time. So because if it boosts up to +2, I can still take a Fire Blast, even from Life Orb. And if it decides not to boost and go straight for the attack move, or the things like Grass Knot to hit Alomola, I can honestly just switch in for free. If he goes for Infernape on Mega Love Disc, I'm going to know right away he's probably running Grass Knot. Probably going to be able to scout with it with the set of Protect, but between these two, we should be able to deal with all of his offensive mons. You know, honestly, Alomola, he has very limited ways to beat Alomola, being Lantern, who can get Toxic stalled, Infernape with Grass Knot, who hopefully I'll be able to wall with Uxie, and then from there, Celebi, who honestly cannot get momentum on anything on my team. Like the rest of this team basically 1v1 Celebi. So I'm honestly not too worried about Celebi. And then Gorgeous, who again gets outsped actually. Gorgeous super form gets outsped, and I can then proceed to Toxic it. It might be worth actually throwing a couple speed creeping EVs just so that I outspeed anything he wants to speed creep me with. Regardless, that's going to be the team. I'm hoping for the best. I'm pretty proud of this team ultimately. I think the switch from Zebstrika to Alomola ultimately ended up being for the best, but we'll see if it works out. Dan is a great opponent. I'm really excited for this matchup. It's not the most nervous I've been for a match yet, but it's the most hyped and excited I've been for a match. So we're going to see how it goes. Regardless, I will see you guys later. Check out the battle. Wish me luck. Krakenation out. Here. On the special attacking side, we've got Mega Charizard Y coming in with a powerful 159 special attack set. Funny enough, the Charizard almost never utilizes Flying type stab, rather relying on Fire Blast with under.